Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Exploring Cultural Science, a conversation. I'm your host. My name is Sadim Syukaregina, and today we're joined by Miss Eva Dewi Agustina, a renowned expert in cultural science who will be discussing the latest developments and insights in the field.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to share my knowledge with your listeners.
Let's start with the basic. What is cultural science and why is it important?
Cultural science is an interdisciplinary field that studies human culture and its impact on our life. It's essential because it helps us understand to
That's fascinating. Can you give an example of how cultural science is applied in real life situation?
one example is in the field of education. By understanding the cultural background and values of students, education and education can develop more effective teaching methods and improve student outcome.
Oh, I see. What about the role of technology in cultural science? How is it changing the way we study and understand culture?
Technology has revolutionized the field of cultural science. We can now collect and analyze vast amounts of data, conduct virtual ethnographies, and engage with diverse communities in new and innovative ways.
That's really interesting. What are some of the challenges facing cultural science today?
One of the biggest challenges in the need for more diverse perspective and voice in the field. We need to ensure that our research and theories are inclusive and representative of the global community.
I couldn't agree more. What advice will you give to students or researchers interested in pursuing a career in cultural science?
My advice would be to stay curious, be open-minded, and engage with diverse communities. Also, be prepared to challenge your own assumptions and bias, and be willing to learn from others.
Excellent advice. Thank you. Before we wrap up, can you tell us about exciting projects in Italy you're working on?
I am currently working on a project that explores the intersection of culture augi in urban planning. It's a fascinating area of study that has the potential to shape the future of our cities.
That's so amazing. Now about embracing open culture, a conversation, cultural expert and advocate for open culture will be discussing the concept of open culture and its impact on our life. Let's start with the basic. What is open culture and why is it important?
Open culture refers to the practice of embedding diversity, inclusivity, and transparency in our personal life. It's essential because it allows us to break down barriers, challenge our assumption, and create a more equitable society.
That's really interesting. Can you give us example of how open culture is applied in real life situation?
One example is in the workplace. By fostering an open culture, organization can encourage employees to share their ideas, perspective, and experience, leading to more innovative and effective solutions.
I see. What are some of the benefits of embracing open culture?
Some of benefits include increased creativity, improved collaboration, and enhanced personal growth. Open culture also allows us to build stronger, more meaningful relationships and others.
That's great. What are some of the challenges we might face when trying to adopt an open culture?
One of the biggest challenges is overcoming our own biases and assumptions. We need to be willing to listen, learn, and adapt to new ideas and perspective.
I couldn't agree more. What advice would you give to individuals or organizations looking to adopt an open culture?
Make active, world be to start small. Make active, world be to start small, be patient and lead by example. Encourage open communication, foster a sense of community, and be willing to take risks and learn from your mistakes.
Excellent advice. Thank you. Before we wrap up, can you tell us about my existing core and that you're working on?
I'm currently, I'm currently working on a project that explores the intersection of open culture and technology. It's a fascinating area of study that has the potential to shape the future of our society.
That sounds amazing. A cultural expert and researcher will be discussing the concept of cultural currents and their impact in our lives. Let's start with the basic. What are cultural currents and why are they important?
Cultural currents refer to the flow of ideas, values, and characteristics that shape our cultural landscape. They essential because they influence how we think, behave, and interact with one another.
That's amazing. Can you give us an example of cultural currents that currently shaping our society?
One example is the growing awareness of social justice and activism. This cultural current is driving conversation around issues like equality, diversity, and inclusion, and inspiring people to take action.
I see. What are some of the factors that contribute to the emergence and of cultural culture?
Some of the factors include technological advancement, demographic shift, and economic change. These factors can Some of the factors include technological advancement, demographic shift, and economic changes. These factors can create new opportunities for cultural expression and change.
That's interesting. How do cultural currents is impact our personal and professional lives?
Cultural currents can in Cultural currents can influence our values, attitude, and behavior, and shape our relationship with others. They can also impact our careers and industries as we adapt to changing cultural norms and expansions.
I couldn't agree more. What advice will you give to individuals or organizations looking to navigate cultural currents?
My advice would be to stay informed, be adaptable, and engage with diverse perspectives. By doing so we can better understand the cultural currents shaping our world and make more informed decisions.
Excellent advice. Thank you. Before we wrap up, can you tell us about my existing projects or intervention you're working me?
I'm currently working on a project that explores the intersection of cultural currents and technology. It's a fascinating area of study that has the potential to shape the future of our society.
That sounds amazing. Thank you. And once again, maybe it's the last this is about a cultural expert will be discussing the importance of cultural understanding in our daily lives.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to share my thoughts on cultural understanding.
Start with the basic. What does it mean to understand and appreciate different culture?
Understanding and application different culture mean being aware of the nuance and complexities of other. Culture is about being sensitive to the difference and similarities between cultures and being willing to learn from others.
Thanks, a great point. Can you give us example of how cultural understanding can impact on our daily lives?
One example is in the workplace when we understand and appreciate the cultural difference of our colleagues, we can build stronger relationship and communicates more effectively.
I see. What are some ways we can learn about and appreciate different cultures?
There are many ways to learn about and appreciate different culture. We can travel, read books, watch movie, and engage with people from other background. We can also take language classes or attend cultural events.
That's good idea. What are some common mistakes people make when trying to understand and appreciate different cultures?
One common mistake is making assumptions about other culture based on limited information. We need to be careful not to generalize about other cultures.
I couldn't agree more. What advice will you give to our listeners who want to learn more about different cultures?
My advice would be to be curious and open-minded, be willing to ask questions and listen to others, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. And most importantly, be respect and sensitive to the cultural difference of others.
Advice, thank you. Before we wrap up, can you tell us about any existing projects or institutions you are working on?
I am currently working on a project that explores the interaction of culture and technology. It's a fascinating area of study that has the potential to shape the future of our society.
That sounds amazing. Thank you, Iva Dwi Agustina, for sharing your insight with us today.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
And thank you to our listener for tuning in to Cultural Conversation. Join us next time for more thought-provoking discussion.